Hello students. So we will proceed with our next topic. So in this session, I'll be discussing interfacing ADC to 8051. Okay. So by the end of this class, you'll be able to describe the interfacing of chip called ADC0804 to 8051. All right. So by the name ADC, you are familiar that we are discussing about analog to digital converter. So this is a analog to digital converter chip. So we'll be discussing how to interface this to our microcontroller 8051. So we are familiar with most of the signals that we are using day to day. So the best example is our smartphone that is in our hand always. So we hear the music, the sound, the video we watch and all. So we hear the sound that is in digital form. So that will be converted to a suitable form, that is analog form, by the speaker that is inbuilt in the smartphone, right? So the digital signal will be converted to analog form by the uh, by the smartphone. Also, when we make a call from our smartphone, the voice of our voice, when we converse or talk, that will be converted to digital form and it will be transmitted, right? So at the receiver end, we have the DAC. So the digital data that was transmitted, it will be received at the receiver end and it will be converted back to analog form. So through the speaker in the phone will be converted to be suitable so that we'll understand the voice or the message, right? So we are familiar with this analog to digital conversion and digital to analog conversion in our day-to-day life. So what is analog to digital converter and why is it required? Okay. So in most in the present scenario or in our day-to-day life, all the signals that we are discussing, it can be temperature, pressure, humidity, velocity, or any signal for that matter, all are analog in form, right? So we know that these can be converted to suitable form so that we can measure it, quantize it, understand it, or process it. So in order to do that, we have to convert it to suitable form. So that is electrical form, right? So that is done by the transducer or a sensor. A transducer or a sensor will convert these analog signal to voltage or the current form, right? So, but again, these converted signals, again, they'll be in analog form. So why is analog to digital converter required? Okay. So we know that the signals that are in analog domain, they are more susceptible to noise. They are like difficult to process and they are difficult to store. Whereas the digital signals, as we are familiar, they are non-susceptible to noise, and it is quite easy with the advanced technology and all different digital platforms what we have. It is easier comparatively to process and to store the digital signals, right? So that's why we have to convert the analog signals to digital form so that it will be uh, easier for us to understand um, and measure those signals. Okay. So at this juncture, I assume that you are familiar with how the analog signals are converted to digital signals, right? So I hope you know what is sampling method. I hope you know what is quantization. Okay. Assuming that you are aware of sampling and quantization method where you convert analog signal to digital signal, I'll proceed. Again, I remind you, if you're not familiar, please go back to your basics. Read what is sampling, what is quantization, what is aliasing effect in sampling and all, then come back to this topic. Okay. So there are different types of ADCs. Okay, so there are that is based on the techniques that is used to convert analog signal to digital. There are different types, that is single slope ADC, dual slope ADC, successive approximation ADC, flash ADC, etc. And the popular technique that is used is dual slope and successive approximation. For example, the digital multimeter what we have, it uses dual slope technique to convert the analog signal to digital signal. Okay, and the most of the microcontrollers, that is advanced microcontrollers what we have, they come with inbuilt ADCs. If you recall, I had mentioned this, right? Advanced microcontrollers like ARM microcontrollers and all, they come with inbuilt ADCs. Those ADCs, mostly the popular ADs, inbuilt ADCs are following the technique called successive approximation, because it is quite faster and because it gives the best trade-off between the speed and the cost of the microcontroller. Okay, I have provided here a few links which are simple to understand, and I want you to click on these links and understand what is dual slope ADC technique, what is successive approximation, and flash. Only after you go through these links, please come back here, because here we are discussing only the interfacing of ADC with our 8051. Since our 8051 doesn't come with inbuilt ADC, we have to externally connect ADC, or we have to interface ADC, if at all, if we are using any signal, analog signal, and we are processing it, or you are using that for your application in 8051 microcontroller. Okay, so this session is to discuss interfacing ADC to 8051. Okay, so ADC, that is analog to digital converter, as we mentioned, it accepts, or it takes, the input to it is analog signal. Okay, so those analog signals which are continuous in nature, continuous with respect to time and amplitude. Okay, so those are fed to ADC. Okay, and you get the digital form of the output, right? So at the ADC, at the input side of the ADCs, generally you have two inputs. One is the reference input, and the other is the signal that you are converting, the actual analog signal. Okay, and based on the type of ADC, whether it is a serial type of ADC or the parallel type of ADC, the output, what you are getting, the digital value, the converted digital value at the output, what you are getting, it can be with a single output line, or it can be of multiple lines. So I'm mentioning here about type of ADC. The ADC can be serial ADC, where the output line will be a single line. The digital value, what you're getting, will be taken serially from a single output. All right. Whereas in parallel ADC, you may have multiple lines, depending on what is the resolution of your ADC, whether it is a resolution is of 8-bit, 10-bit, 16-bit, or 24-bit. Based on that, you will have number of output lines. For example, if the resolution of a particular ADC is you are using a 8-bit ADC, then you will have 8 lines, 8 output lines, that is D out lines or digital value lines, right? So I have shown here, for example, observe this table. For 0 volts, if your analog signal has 0 volts, then your digital value, that is the example is for 8-bit ADC, the digital value what you will be getting will be all zeros. The 8-bit will, all 8-bit bits will be 0. So the equivalent hex value will be 00H, and the decimal value will be 0, obviously. if at all the maximum value or the maximum range or the reference voltage of this particular ADC is 5 volts, so that will be the maximum value, maximum voltage that the ADC can accept. Okay, so for 5 volts, your output digital value will be all ones. The 8 bit will be ones. So the equivalent hex value will be FFH, and the decimal value will be 255. That is 2 to the power of 8, right? So which means that um, based on the analog signal, as the analog signal is continuously varying, you will be getting the digital value between 00H to FFH for 8-bit ADC. Okay. So here we have to understand what will be the corresponding digital value for 1 volt. Say 1 volt of uh, analog signal, what will be the digital value? So in order to calculate that, what we have to do, take the maximum value, that is full scale range 5 volt, divided by 256, isn't it? So you will get approximately 19.5 millivolts. So that will be the resolution of your ADC. So that is the smallest value or the smallest voltage change that can be accepted by the ADC. All right. So which means that if the values are varying between 0 to 19.5 millivolts, then the output will be 0. So if the input voltages are varying between 19.5 millivolts to 39 millivolts, then the output would be 1. Okay. And any voltage between 39 millivolts to 58.6 millivolts, the output would be 2. So it goes on up to the full range, that is 5 volts, right? So this is an equation that is given for resolution, full scale range divided by 2 to the power of the number of bits of the particular ADC. So here generally V max minus V minimum. V max here is 5 volts. Say for example, the example what we are taking, 5 volts minus V minimum will be always 0. Yeah. And for 8-bit ADC, 2 to the power of 8 divided by 2 to the power of 8. So that will give you the resolution of your ADC. I hope you are getting. So consider this example. Here an example is shown for 8-bit. Okay. Say for example, the value, digital value is 00101100. Okay. Then if you take here, observe here, the bit 7, its voltage will be 2.5. Okay. Okay. For 8-bit, I'm discussing about 8-bit. So if at all the digital value was 00101100, then the voltage would be 0.859 volts. Okay. Or in other ways, it means that for 0.859 volts of analog signal, the digital value developed was, the output got was 00101100. I hope you're understanding that. Okay. So based on the number of bits of the ADC or the resolution of the ADC, the step size also will be varying. So this step size, as I said, it is nothing but the smallest change or the smallest change in the voltage that can be discerned by the ADC. Okay, so the example, the table shows the example for different uh, resolutions. Say for example, for 8-bit ADC, you will have the number of steps as 256 and the step size would be 19.53 millivolts. Okay, which means that for a 10-bit ADC, you will have 2 to the power of 10, that is 1024 possible output codes, right? So which means that the resolution would be 5 by 1024, that is 4.88 millivolts. Similarly, for an 12-bit ADC, the possible output codes would be 4096. 4096 different possible output codes would be expected from 12-bit ADC, and the step size would be 1.2 millivolts, or the resolution of that particular ADC, that is 12-bit ADC, will be 1.2, and for 16 it is 0.076. So if you observe here, as the step size, as the resolution increases, the step size is decreasing. Okay, so based on the number of bits, that is the resolution, the step size will be increasing. So if you want more accurate conversion to take place, it is advisable to go for higher resolution of ADC. I hope you're understanding that. So important definitions to remember here. Step size, it is the smallest change that can be discerned by an ADC. There is a conversion time, is defined as the time taken by an ADC to convert analog signal to digital value. The resolution is the smallest voltage change that can be measured by an ADC, which is nothing but step size, right? So higher the resolution will provide smaller step size. We have seen that in the previous slide. Accuracy of an ADC is nothing but the closeness to the correct value. That is how accurate is the ADC, the conversion that is taking place. And precision is nothing but repeatability. Repeatability means like if the output same for a particular input repeatedly. That is nothing but precision, right? So if you have a particular analog value, and if you are getting a, a particular digital value, are you getting the same digital value for the same analog input for different times? Yeah, whenever you are getting same analog input, you should get the same digital value. So that is nothing but precision of an ADC. So with this basics of the analog signals and analog to digital conversion, and with some basic definitions, we'll proceed with our chip, that is interfacing ADC 08042 to 8051. So ADC 0804 IC is an 8-bit parallel ADC in the family of ADC 0800 series from National Semiconductors. So it works with 5 volts and has a resolution of 8 bits. So conversion time is it is depending on the analog signal, that is, it is defined as the time it takes taken by the ADC to convert, and it depends on the clocking signals that is applied to clock R and clock in pins of this particular chip. Okay, and it cannot be faster than 110 microseconds. I will explain that in the further slides. So there are different pins here in ADC. This is your ADC 0804, which means that it is a parallel ADC, means you have single input, that is analog signal that you want to measure or you want to convert, and you have 8 lines, that is digital lines, where you will be getting the digital value of the converted analog signal, D0 to D7. All right. So obviously it needs 5 volts power supply, and also it is the reference voltage. Okay. Then you have this V in plus and V in minus. Usually this is nothing but the differential analog inputs, where V in plus is your analog input that you are measuring or that you want to convert, and generally V in negative will be connected to ground. Excuse me. And you have CLK-R and CLK-in. I'll be explaining it. Then chip select is the active low input pin that has to be activated whenever you want to use ADC 0804. All right. Then you have RD line. It's also called output enable. So whenever you want to access the converted digital value, then you have to send a high to low pulse to this RD pin. Okay. Only then the converted digital value will be out from D0 to D7. All right. So WR, right, actually the pin name is right, but it actually stands for start conversion. So whenever low to high transition is happening at this pin, usually it is a active low input pin. So whenever there is low to high transition happening at WR pin, then it means that start to conversion signal is given to ADC. Okay. So based on the technique that is adopted here internally, then the analog to digital conversion will take place. All right. So there is INTR pin. INTR pin is nothing but output pin. It is also active low. Generally, it will be low. It is also named as end of conversion. So whenever there is a low signal observed, then it means that there is a end of conversion. And end of conversion of the analog signal to digital form. Okay. So if at all INTR is not zero, if it is not zero, normally it will be high. So then you have to keep on polling. That means wait for the interrupt pin to go low. So when it becomes low, that is the indication that end of the conversion. So when you get end of the conversion, then you give a high to low pulse to this RD line. So to read the converted value at the digital pins D0 to D7. All right. So these are the few pins. So clock in and CLK in and CLK R, these are the input pins connected to external clock source. So whenever you want external clocking, clock for timing, then these pins will be used. But the 0804 ADC also comes with the internal clock generator. So that is when it is operating as a self-clocking mode, then this pins will be connected to CLK in and CLK R pins will be connected to capacitor and the resistor as shown in the figure here. Okay. So CLK R is connected to a resistor of 10 kilo and a capacitor of 150 picofarad. Okay. So with that, where we will get a frequency of given by 1 by 1.1 RC. Okay, I'll explain that in the next slide. Yeah, this is the thing. So the frequency given for R equals 10 kilo ohms and C for 150 picofarad, we'll get the frequency from this equation as 606 kilohertz. So the conversion time will be 110 microseconds. Okay. Remember, recall I had mentioned about this. All right. So based on the resistor and the capacitor that is connected to clock in and clock R pins, okay, that will decide the conversion time. All right. So then you have V reference by 2. This is an input voltage reference for the input voltage used for the reference voltage. Generally, the voltage, the ADC that is used, 0804, it is used for in the range of 0 to 5 volts. Okay. So then this pin, V reference by 2, will not be used at all. It is not connected. All right. It is left open. But in some applications, there may be a requirement where you don't want the range to be between 0 to 5. Maybe according to the application, you are working on the voltage range from 0 to 4 or 0 to 3 or some other voltage range. Accordingly, then you have to connect this V reference by 2. Say for example, if you are using analog input range between 0 to 4 volts, then V reference by 2 will be connected to 2 volts. Okay, so the table is given here. According to the range of the voltages, the V reference by 2, this pin will be connected appropriately. For 0 to 4, it will be connected to 2. 0 to 3 range, it will be connected to 1.5, so on. Okay, for 0 to 5, that is the actual range for ADC 0804, this pin V reference by 2 will not be connected. Okay, and the step size is given accordingly, as you can go through the table. And as I mentioned, D0 to D7 pins are the digital output pins. They are tri-state buffer. The converted data will be available when CS is 0 and when you force the RD line to go low. Okay, when you send high to low pulse to RD line, then you will get the converted digital value at D0 to D7. So in order to calculate the output voltage, you can use this expression. D out will be given by V in by step size. V in is your analog input voltage, and based on the step size, you can calculate the D output. Okay, so there are analog ground and digital ground. Okay, these are the input pins providing ground for both analog signal and the digital signal. Generally what we do, analog ground is connected to the ground of analog input, while the digital ground is connected to the ground of the VCC pin. Okay, the reason for this is to isolate the transient voltage that may be causing because of the digital switching of the output D0 to D7. Okay, so in order to have the accuracy of the converted digital value, it is better to have isolated grounding, analog ground and digital ground separately. So there are the following steps that has to be followed. When you are interfacing ADC 0804 to 8051. Okay, so whenever you are converting an analog signal to digital and you want to read that converted value, okay, these are the steps that has to be followed. So initially make CS is equal to 0, which means that you are enabling the ADC chip to access. Okay, chip enable, that is CS is made 0. It is a active low input pin. Okay, so you have, in order to activate the chip ADC chip 0804, you make it 0 and send a low to high pulse to pin WR to start the conversion. Okay, to WR pin you are sending low to high pulse in order to start the conversion. Okay, observe here. Chip select is made 0 as pulse is given, 0 is given there, and you are sending low to high pulse to WR pin. Okay, and at this juncture you don't have any value at D0 to D7 pins. Okay, now you are waiting for the interrupt pin. Now keep monitoring the interrupt pin. Keep monitoring the interrupt pin. Initially it will be high. Okay, so if the INTR is low, the conversion is finished. If it is not low, if it is high, keep polling. That means you wait for the INTR pin to go low. Okay, so when it goes low, that is an indication that end of the conversion. The analog signal is now converted to digital form and it is ready. Okay, so after the INTR has become low, we make chip select CS pin again low and send a high to low pulse to the read pin. Okay, after the INTR goes low, that is an indication of the end of the conversion. Then make chip select low and send high to low pulse to the read pin. So read pin is nothing but you are accessing the digital value. So at that juncture, you will get the digital value at D0 to D7 pins. So this is the process and the timings of the analog to digital conversion that takes place in the chip ADC 0804. I hope it is clear. Okay, so I'll repeat the steps. First, you have to make chip select 0, send a low to high pulse to WR pin. Okay, wait for the INTR pin to go low. When it is low, then send chip select 0, make chip select 0 and send high to low pulse to the RD pin. Then the digital value will be converted digital value will be available at D0 to D7. Okay. Now let us analyze that using a program. So here is a program. Examine ADC connected to the. Okay, so this program is to write a program to monitor the interrupt pin and bring an analog input into register A. Then call a hex to ASCII conversion and data display subroutines. So do this continuously. Okay, this is a simple program when you're interfacing ADC. Okay, so observe here you are using port pin 2.6 as where you're connecting WR pin of ADC. Port 2.7 you are using where you're connecting the INTR pin of ADC. Then P2.5 pin of 8051 you're connecting to RD of the ADC chip, and port 1 pins are used to read the digital value that is coming from D0 to D7 of ADC 0804. All right. So observe here the program. First, you are reading the digital value from ADC from D0 to D7 and reading from port 1, right? So port 1 is your input port. So first line is you're configuring the input port 1 as input lines. So sending FFH, you're making it them as input lines. Then you're clearing P 2.6. 2.6 you're connecting to WR of ADC, right? So you're making it 0. That means what? Recall, you're making it 0 means you're sending low to high pulse. Okay, so next instruction is set. So you're sending low to high, which is nothing but start conversion. Okay, so when you start conversion, wherein to the VIN pin of ADC, you have connected your analog signal that you want to convert. So internally, the ADC, based on the technique used, it will start converting. All right. Now you are waiting for the interrupt pin to go low, isn't it? So jump on bit P2.7. 2.7, you are connecting to INTR pin of the ADC. Jump on bit here. If it is high, if this bit is high, wait here. Okay. So when it goes low, that is the meaning it is end of the conversion, isn't it? When INTR goes low, it is the end of the conversion. So then you're out of this low. So when it becomes 0, then you're clearing P2.5. What is 2.5? Your RD line that you're connected to, RD line of ADC. Okay. So you're sending a high to low pulse there. So initially it would have been high, then you are sending clearing means high to low pulse. So in order to enable to read the digital value. So now port P1.0, P1.7 pins that are connected to D0 to D7 of ADC. So the digital value, converted digital value will come to port 1. So that's what you're reading here. In the next instruction, move A, P1 from port 1, you're reading into accumulator. What are you reading? The converted digital value of the analog signal. Okay. Now, if you're doing it continuously, then you're say now you have to display the converted value. Say the red value you want to convert and you want to display. So you are calling two different subroutines. So this subroutine is to convert hex value to ASCII code, which is some other program, example program, or a subroutine, which maybe we will discuss sometime later. Then you are calling one more subroutine, display. Display is again another interfacing where you are displaying. Okay, so maybe it can be LCD display or LED display. So that is again another subroutine where you are calling it. So the converted value, I mean the value in accumulator, you may convert it to ASCII code. Then you will be displaying it. All right. Then set bit P 2.5. 2.5 you are making it high again. For the next round, repeat it. Jump back, repeat it. So this is a analog to digital conversion and interfacing with 8051, and this is a simple assembly language program where you're interfacing 8051 with the ADC. Here is the connection of ADC with self-clocking. Remember, CLK-R and CLK-in. These pins will decide whether the timing clock pulses are coming from external circuit or from the internal circuit, that is the internal clock generator. So if it is in self-clocking, then this is the connection. Okay. So wherein CLK, you will have resistor and capacitor, and CLK will be connected in this way. So this is the connection for self-clocking or to use the internal clock circuit. Okay. And if the timing clock circuits are connected externally to the ADC, say in this example, this is connected to the clock circuitry of 8051 itself. The crystal that is connected to 8051, the same thing is connected to CLK in of ADC. Okay, so the frequency of 8051 that is connected will be quite high for ADC. So a different D flip-flops may be used to divide the frequency. Here it is shown two D flip-flops are used to divide the frequency by 4. So that frequency is connected here, the clock in. Okay. So these are the different topics that you have to go through when you are discussing interfacing of ADC with 8051. Hope it is clear. If you have any doubt, please get back to me. And this is the reference textbook what you have to read.